my opinion on the best 5 cities for courier work in the UK. Here we go. Hello everybody, Big Beardy back again with another video, and today we're looking at the 5 best cities, in my opinion, for courier work. Now this question came from a suggestion from one of my Patreons. Obviously check out my Patreon down below if you want to get put into the free monthly draw and also just want to support the channel. Right, let's get into it. So, in my opinion, these are the 5 best places I get work from. Now, this might not be the same for everyone. I know some of you are going to say that you'll have other opinions. And if you do, let me know down below in the comments what your favourite cities for getting work out of are. But these are my 5 best cities where I seem to do really well out of. So, let's get started. At number 5, we have Bristol. I always do well out of Bristol. I already know some people are going to say that's not right. I don't do well out of Bristol because I've had this conversation before. But for me, I always do well out of Bristol. I don't know if it's because the same strategy I use out of Norfolk might suit itself to Bristol. But I tend to get quite long jobs, paying good money. There seems to be a lot of work coming out of that area. It's to the point where whenever I'm in Cardiff, I tend to drive to Bristol to get work. Not every time, but on a lot of occasions, I've gone to Bristol to get work. Also, if you're in the south west, not a lot down there. You've got Plymouth, and that's not that busy. Exeter, a little bit of work, but Bristol seems to be the place to be for the work. Also, I've tramped there a lot. Great nightlife, some great restaurants and places. So when you are staying there, you actually will have a good time. I believe it's a university city. I'm pretty sure it is. So there's a lot going on at night. So when you are tramping, you can go and have a beer and have a relax and have the hustle and bustle. I know that's got nothing to do with courier work, but it's not a bad place to be. So Bristol is my number 5. Yeah, you can do a lot worse. You can do a lot worse. Right, number 4. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, what the hell are you on, Beardy, when I say this? But it's Norwich. And some of you are already turned off the channel. What are you on about, Beardy? Norwich is awful for work, yes. But this is more of an overarching thing. It's not Norwich itself. I mean your home city. I do well out of Norwich when most people do not. And the reason is I've got lots of contacts. I know the shippers. I know where the work comes out from. I know the best places to park up. You learn your local area. So what I'm trying to say on this one is it's your local city. You will always do well out of your local city if you make contacts and you study where the work is and around and what type of work and when it all goes out and who all the other drivers are. You will do well in your local city. And for me, that's Norwich. So I always do well out of Norwich. I have a game plan. I know what I'm going to do every morning. You get to the point where you like wake up on let's say a Wednesday, like I know that job's going to pop at that time. I know that job's going to pop at that time because the same jobs pop every single Wednesday or Tuesday or Thursday. Learn your local area, make contacts, and it will be one of the best places you can work, no matter where you are. Obviously, if you're in one of my top 3 spots, they will be better for you. But for me, it's Norwich. A lot of people don't do well out of Norwich. I do because it's my local city and I've learned it. So learn your local city. It will be, you know, then most of the days you're going to start there, so you might as well get some good work out of there. So it should be one of the best places for work for you. So for me, it's controversial. It's Norwich, and I'll fight you over it. Right, number 3, and this is actually more of a cluster of places, but I'm going to say Sheffield. Sheffield, yes. One of the reasons is like I said, there's a lot of cities in that area. I could have chosen Doncaster or, you know, gone up to Huddersfield or even around the corner to the Bradford Leeds area. But Sheffield, all those places just north of the Peak District, a lot of work in that area, goes for good money. And it has what my number 2 spot, we'll talk about in a second, doesn't have. It has distance. And what I mean by that is you get a job from Sheffield going to the south coast, it's a long way. Sheffield to, or, you know, Huddersfield down to London, Sheffield down to London, they're £100 jobs minimum. You know, it's far enough away from the rest of the big cities, apart from Manchester, that you can make real good money. So it has diversity. lots of work, a lot of it short £50 jobs. You can literally spend your whole career life in those cities up just north of, around that top corner of the Peak District, and make a good living, just city hopping, because there's so much work and there's so many, you know, the little £50 job, £50 job, £50 job. At the same time, like me, if you want to go back to Norfolk and a job comes up from Sheffield, you know you're making a good 150, 160, 170 pound off that job. Good money there. So I really do well up there. Also, top tip, if you're in there up in those cities in the summer and you finish work, let's say it's 5 o'clock, it's all dead, nothing else to do, you can pop in the Peak District for a couple of hours and enjoy one of the most stunning places in the UK. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad. But yeah, those cities really are a cluster of work. I always do well when I'm in there. I get there's a job that comes out at Lowestoft regularly going up to Shipley. Often end up there. Never sit around for long. Works ping, 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 ping. There's a lot of work there, and you will get it for good prices. So you end up in that part of the world, you're going to do well. And like I said, lots of cities, you can use multiple strategies. So that's why I like being in that area. Right, here we go. Number 2 on the list. It's the second city. It's Birmingham. Birmingham's massive. Birmingham's almost like 3 cities. It's a bit like London in that, because you've got Birmingham, you got the Dudley area of it, it goes up to Wolverhampton. It's a massive area, and there's a lot of little cities like Coventry. I don't want to say little cities, but a lot of cities around it like Coventry, Leicester. You've got Rugby, which is a big industrial hub. Birmingham is a great area. It does have a few pitfalls, but because of the amount of work and the fact it's very easy to go from Birmingham to anywhere in the country. You want to go to London? Motorway. You want to go to Norfolk? You've got the A road, A14, A11, all the way to bloody Norfolk. You want to go up to Manchester? M6. You want to go Newcastle? Bang. Easy. It's easy to get anywhere. So you don't have to, you can just jump on a motorway and go. A lot of cities, if you want to get somewhere, you've got to go through an A road and do this, and then it takes a little bit longer. But in Birmingham, easy access to anywhere in the country. Lots of work. There are a lot of drivers, but I think the driver-work ratio is better than other areas. And it's not like London where it's a sinkhole and everyone goes there. A lot of work goes out of Birmingham, not necessarily into Birmingham. And for a driver, when you're sat there waiting for work, that's the scenario you want. You want work going away from the area, not coming into the area. Very good. Couple of small issues though. I will say this, but I think they're outweighed by the positives. Because you're central, you're not going to get those £300 or 300-mile jobs, because you're always sort of 100 miles away from everywhere, unless you're going up to Scotland, of course. But you're, you know, apart from Norfolk, which is about 150 miles from Birmingham, you know, Bristol's what, 70 miles away, Manchester's about 70 miles away, London 100 miles or so. So they're all sort of in that 100 to 150 mile range. You're not going to get 200 mile plus jobs because it's so central. But lots of work. There are lots of drivers, don't get me wrong, but I think the work outweighs it. I always do well. I always get a good price on the job, and I'm never sitting around too long. It usually is sit down, jobs ping, and I'll get one relatively quickly. And that is a key to this. Knowing how long you're sitting there between finishing your last job, start bidding on work, and getting the next job is really important, and that's quick, especially if you're trying to make good money. And you're obviously getting good money on the job. So if that plays a big part, and I think Birmingham has that pretty well. So also, there's lots of places to stop, eat, drink. You know, it's a big city. And if you finish your day, one of the big advantages, is it doesn't stop at 5. This is a big thing. A lot of places, all the other places I've talked to about so far, generally 5 o'clock, there's nothing else going out of them. These top two, number 2 and number 1, there is always work popping after 5 o'clock. You will see jobs pop up at 8, at 9 o'clock at night. And if you started late or you're on a long day, that's good money. Especially if one's taking you home. It's a bonus. So really important that. Right, and number 1, my favourite city for getting work out of, my personal favourite is, it's not London, it's Manchester. I always do fantastic out of Manchester for all the same cities, same reasons as Birmingham, really. But it's tucked away in a corner, so you're going to get those long jobs out of Manchester. You will often see a job from Manchester to London pop up. That's good money. It's motorway miles and it is long distance. Good money. You're not sitting around for long. There is so much work comes out of that area that you will be you'll be bidding on job after job after job, especially in the peak times, first thing in the morning and around that 2 o'clock period when it starts to ramp up a little bit. You will find work relatively easy, as long as you've got to be bidding the right price. But it's great for that. You also can do, like I said, you can do those short jobs as well and do that all day. Manchester, you can pop jobs around Manchester like there's no tomorrow. There's a lot of work that goes out of Manchester. There's a lot of work that stays in Manchester. So there is a vast variety of work, which is really key to this. So if you want to stay in that area, you can stay in that area. If you want to get somewhere else in the country, there will be a job that pops up for it. Generally easy to get to most places as well, because you've got the M6. A lot of work from there goes to Newcastle and up north to Scotland, and it all goes for a good price. Manchester is the place to be for me. Might not be for you. People will disagree, and I have no doubt some of you will disagree with what I've just said. Tell me down below if you disagree and let everyone else know. Or don't. It's up to you. I don't mind. But yeah, they are my top 5. Now, you might be thinking there seems to be a massive city missing from this list, and that is London. Well, we're going to talk about on my next episode, where we talk about cities where I don't think there's that much good work, and it's a lot more difficult than people might think. So stay tuned for that one. But there's my top 5. Bristol, Norwich, I know, right? Local city. Sheffield, Birmingham, and number 1 on the list. If I ever see a job going to Manchester, I'm going to try and get that job, because I know there's a second job waiting for me. Right. Hope that's helped some people. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You've been awesome. I've been the Big Beardy One. Be safe out there, and have a great day.